Imagine that riff blasting through a stadium, the crowd roaring like a freight train barreling down on you, and suddenly you're caught in the middle of it all. No escape, just pure unfiltered electricity surging through your veins. That's Thunderstruck, the AC/DC anthem that's been shaking speakers and rattling bones for over 3 decades, refusing to fade into the static like some one-hit wonder from a bad hair metal band. But here's the buried drama you didn't see coming. This track wasn't born in a blaze of glory. It snuck up from a simple finger twist in a studio, only to explode into a cultural juggernaut that even hackers and wolves couldn't ignore. Stick around, because we're peeling back the layers on the history behind Thunderstruck, the meanings lurking in those lyrics, and facts so obscure they'll make you wonder if AC/DC secretly runs the world. Let's rewind to the ignition point, where this beast first sparked to life. Back in the late 80s, AC/DC was licking their wounds after a string of albums that didn't quite hit the high voltage of their Bon Scott glory days. Enter Angus and Malcolm Young, the brotherly duo who could turn a guitar string into a weapon of mass distraction. Angus had this little guitar trick up his sleeve, a finger-stretching exercise that sounded like lightning cracking across a stormy sky. He'd mess around with it, hammering on and pulling off notes like he was teasing the devil himself. One day, he plays it for Malcolm, who slaps on a rhythm that's as steady as a heartbeat on steroids. They fiddle with it for months, no rush, just 2 blokes in flannel turning a warm-up into a riff that would define an era. And the title? Forget the tall tales about Angus's plane getting zapped by lightning mid-flight. That's been debunked faster than a politician's promise. No, the real root digs into their childhood, inspired by a toy called Thunderstruck, this battery-powered gizmo that screamed power. Angus later spilled it. AC/DC equals power, so Thunderstruck just clicked, like plugging into the grid and flipping the switch. What if that toy had been called Fluffy Bunny? We'd be headbanging to something far less intimidating, eh? But nah, this was destiny wrapped in distortion. Now, unpack those lyrics, because they're not just random shouts over a killer groove, they're a roadmap to a night of debauchery that'll leave you shaking at the knees. Start with, I was caught in the middle of a railroad track, thunder. That's not about dodging trains. It's the setup for being utterly blindsided, frozen in the face of something massive charging your way. The thunder. It's the roar of chaos, the guns tearing you apart. But in that classic AC/DC twist, it's all leading to a good time. Then comes the Texas romp. Rode down the highway, broke the limit, pulled into town, went down to Texas, yeah, Texas, and we had some fun. Texas here isn't just a state. It's shorthand for wild frontiers, where rules get bent like a cheap guitar neck. The boys meet, some dancers who gave a good time, broke all the rules, played all the fools, yeah, they blew our minds. Blown minds? Shaking knees. Could I come again, please? Come on, it's AC/DC. They're not singing about line dancing. Thunderstruck means getting hit with that electrifying rush, the kind that mixes adrenaline with ecstasy, like a lightning bolt straight to the... well, you get it. It's oral innuendo wrapped in rock bravado, but playful, not preachy. And the origins? Pulled from real-life road warrior tales, where the band lived that highway life, turning pit stops into legends. What if Brian Johnson had penned it about a bad cup of tea instead? You've been mildly disappointed? Doesn't quite pack the punch, does it? Fast forward to the album Saga, where Thunderstruck becomes the spearhead for the Razor's Edge, AC/DC's 1990 comeback that sliced through the grunge haze like a hot knife through butter. After duds like Flick of the Switch and Fly on the Wall, albums that sold, sure, but felt like reheated leftovers, the band needed a producer with magic dust. They tapped Bruce Fairbairn, the Canadian wizard behind Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet and Aerosmith's Pump, and hauled ass to Little Mountain Sound Studios in Vancouver. Picture this. Snowy Canadian winters clashing with Aussie rockers, chain-smoking and cranking amps. Fairbairn pushed them hard, layering those thunder chants over and over until it sounded like a tribal war cry. For the riff, Angus taped up all strings except the B, hammering it one-handed in the studio. Talk about a wanker's cramp waiting to happen. Launch drama? The album drops without an apostrophe in Razors, nodding to those dark storm clouds Aussies call the Razor's Edge, but promo was a battlefield. In the US, they held back Thunderstruck as a single to boost album sales, pushing the poppier money talks instead. Meanwhile, the video shoots at Brixton Academy in London, directed by David Mallet, who turned it into a live wire spectacle. Tiny cameras on Angus's guitar, drumsticks, even under plexiglass for that duck walk, innovative stuff that made you feel like you were in the pit. But drama lurked, rumours of band tensions, Malcolm's drinking issues bubbling under, yet they powered through, turning potential implosion into explosion. Imagine if Fairbairn had suggested synthesizers. We'd have AC/DC sounding like a bad 80s synth-pop remix. Shudder. As Thunderstruck ascended to legend status, it didn't just climb charts. It conquered them like a Viking raid on a sleepy village. Peaking at number 5 on US mainstream rock, number 4 in Australia, and going diamond in the States with over 10 million sales. That's not luck, that's lightning in a bottle. Live, it became the opener, with Angus warming his fingers for an hour pre-show to nail that solo, an endurance test that'd make marathon runners weep. But the real Ascent, popping up everywhere, from stadiums to screens. In Varsity Blues, AC/DC charged $500,000 for its use, the priciest sync deal at the time, turning a hungover football scene into pure gold. Then Iron Man 2 blasts it during Tony Stark's Grand Prix Chaos. Battleship uses it for naval warfare vibes. Even Deadpool 2 slips it in for meta mayhem. TV got hooked too. Supernatural's Devil episode, House's air guitar antics, Magnum PI's pilot. Sports teams adopted it like a lucky charm. Alabama football blares it as players charge the field. Sacramento Kings for hype. Chicago White Sox tying it to their World Series win over Houston, adding that Texas sting. What if some rival band tried to claim it? No, Thunderstruck owns the arena, period. And the puns? Endless. Fans chant it at games like a battle cry, but imagine a what-if where it's the theme for a kid's cartoon. Thunderstruck teddy bears, teaching lessons in rock and roll rebellion. The enduring impact? Thunderstruck didn't just stick around, it mutated into a cultural virus, infecting everything from hackers to wildlife. Remember 2012 when a worm infiltrated Iran's nuclear program? It forced computers to blast the song at full volume in the dead of night. Talk about a stealthy sabotage with a soundtrack. Or 2025 when the US Department of Agriculture in Oregon deployed drones playing it to scare off wolves attacking livestock. Wolves fleeing to AC/DC? That's rock-repelling nature itself. Tributes poured in, a 2004 Aussie comedy film called Thunderstruck about fans burying a mate next to Bon Scott. Melbourne named a lane AC/DC Lane in honor. Covers? Wild Ones, a Croatian cello duo, two cellos turned it orchestral. Flaming bagpipes scorched its Scottish style. A Chinese guzheng zither made it ancient and eerie. One dad even recorded his baby's grunts over the riff for a viral vid. Parodies like Thunderstruck twist lyrics for boozy Aussie parties. Ripple effects? It inspired memes, mashups with Ghostbusters, even a Jeopardy clue. An AC/DC tune, or a word meaning flabbergasted. You've been... Answer: Thunderstruck, obviously. And the quirky aftermath? That riff's finger exercise has tortured guitar learners worldwide. Easy to start, but hell to speed up. What if aliens intercepted it first? They'd think Earthlings worship thunder gods in schoolboy uniforms. But seriously, Thunderstruck's genius lies in its simplicity. Power, fun, no pretension, respect to the young brothers for crafting something timeless amid the turmoil. So there you have it, the wild ride through AC/DC's Thunderstruck history, from toy-inspired sparks to global domination. If this got your blood pumping and your head banging, smash that like button like Angus smashing a solo. Subscribe to the Rock Lore Vault for more untold rock sagas. And drop a comment. What's your wildest Thunderstruck memory? You've been Thunderstruck. Now go spread the lightning.